If you grip the river, you lose the river. That is the first joke life tells the clenched hand. Imagine, for a moment, that you are standing on a bridge at dusk, watching a wide, unruly water move under you, green where the light lingers, black where the evening collects. You lean over and think, if only I could take this home. So you cup your hands, reach down, and what happens? It runs out. It must. Water is what water does. What you can carry is never the river. What carries you is. The more you let go, the more life gives you. This sounds, at first blush, like a paradox crafted by a mischievous uncle who sells fortune cookies by the crate. But look closely. When your fist unclenches, it becomes a hand, and hands, unlike fists, can hold. They can touch. They can feel the temperature of a teacup, the pulse in a wrist, the smooth defiance of a pebble that refuses your story about it. A fist is a proclamation. A hand is an invitation, and invitations are how reality arrives. We were trained, almost from the first cry, to hold tight. Hold tightly to your plans, they said. Hold tightly to your reputation, your schedule, your justifications. So we wrapped our days in duct tape and wondered why the light dimmed. We thought control would be a lamp. It turned out to be a lampshade, and an oddly heavy one. Meanwhile, life operates on different etiquette. It does not knock. It breezes through the open window, rattles the curtain, and leaves the smell of rain in the room. It is impolite in the nicest possible way. It gives most to the house with the fewest locks. Let me tell you a small story from a large ocean. A sailor I once knew, serious eyebrows, serious charts. A compass polished like a shrine, treated the sea as an employee who needed constant performance reviews. He scolded the wind. He coached the tide. He argued with the sky. And the more he instructed reality, the more reality tossed him about, until one morning, weary and salt-crusted, he found himself sitting on the deck with his hands open in his lap, listening to the rigging sing. "I think she knows how to be the sea," he said. From that day forward, he trimmed the sails instead of lecturing the weather, and, curiously, he arrived more often where he intended to go. The more he let go, the more he was given good passages, kind currents, and a friendship with the very forces he once tried to bully. You see, letting go is not a technique for getting what you want. It's a revelation of what you are. You are not a foreign power occupying life with checkpoints and tall fences. You are life thinking, speaking, looking out of two small windows we call eyes. You are the river looking at its own water and saying, "My, how I rush." Of course you want to steer. Of course you want the oars. But have you noticed that the harp you carry, this tireless drummer plays on without your baton? If you had to remember to beat it, you'd forget in the first hour and topple face first into the soup. Something is beating it already. Something is also opening your hands when you are tired of arguing with your day. What does letting go look like on the ground, in the mess of grocery lines and unpleasant emails? It looks like this. You recognize that life is a dance and that you are the floor as much as the dancer. Gravity doesn't ask your permission to be a partner. And yet, see how gracefully you learned to fall as a child. How you turned stumbles into inventiveness. We become very clumsy adults when we insist that grace must also wear a helmet and fill in a form. Try a small experiment. Next time you wash a cup, feel the cup. Not the idea of it, the ceramic coolness, the slick surrender when water runs over glaze, the little squeak under your thumb. In that moment, the chore is not a rung on the ladder to some imagined future. It is the room in which you live. It is the only room. Letting go, then, is not laziness. It's competence without panic. It is doing what is in your hands with your hands open. Now, I can already hear a certain voice, a familiar, managerial voice saying, "Hold on, if I stop holding on, won't everything fall apart?" It's a good question, because you have trusted this gripping for a long time. But ask yourself, did you grip your childhood into happening? Did you grip your first laugh? Did you grip sleep last night? The things most deliciously given are given when you aren't busy pretending to be the head waiter of the cosmos. Even your greatest readying came with forgetting yourself in a game, in a kiss, in a view from a hill that made your posture irrelevant. The ego loves employment. It wants a job description so precise it could be framed above a desk. Controller of outcomes, keeper of maps, sheriff of shoulds. But it is a nervous sheriff. It shakes a little. It polishes its badge to hide the shaking. You don't have to fire it. You can give it a different post. Thank you for your service. From now on, you manage shoes and umbrellas. The weather reports to no one. In fact, the more you let go, the more the ego relaxes. It had mistaken vigilance for love. It had taken the always on of neon and tried to outshine the sun. Poor thing, no wonder it is tired. Offer it a chair by the window. Let it nap. While it dozes, watch how more light enters the room. Watch how conversations soften because you are no longer racing to win them. Watch how solutions surface precisely in the pause between "I should" and "what is happening here." There is an art to softening that has nothing to do with apathy. A cat in a sunbeam is soft, and yet when a bird draws a calligraphy of air across the courtyard, the cat becomes arrow. Notice that. Rest becomes action without a meeting in between. Letting go does not erase your capacity to respond. It removes static from the line. You hear more, so you move more aptly. The dancer trusts the floor, and so she leaps. And time, the lovely trickster, cooperates with the open hand. When you cling to a plan with the desperation of a vine around a lamppost, you live in a clock. Tick, tock. Minutes call you by your worst nickname, late. But when you let go into the task at hand, it's curious how the clock loses its bite. The work takes the time it takes. Your presence is a kind of ointment that eases friction. Strangely enough, you finish more. Watch a carpenter who listens to wood. He doesn't shout at grain. He follows it. He gives the tree a second future, and the table winks as if to say, "This is what I want it to be." I once met an old gardener with wrists like ropes and a laugh like loose gravel. His roses seemed to bloom with less effort than anyone's, and I asked him for his secret. He shrugged and said, "I don't want them to be anything but what they are already trying to be." He pruned, yes. He watered, yes. But he didn't lecture the buds. He placed himself where life was already leaning and gave it a little nudge. He let go of the idea that he was the author of roses. The garden thanked him in petals. The more you let go, the more life gives you, because life sees space and moves in. The full cup receives nothing. The empty cup is constantly in love. This is not a rule. It's a description. You know it in your bones. The laughter you remember most came uninvited. The kindness that changed you did not fill out a reservation. Your greatest relief was always a release. So what are we to release? Begin with your argument with what is. Do not surrender your discernment or your capacity to act. Surrender your theatrical refusal. Drop the lawsuit against Tuesday. Drop the charge that rain is a failed sun. Take your complaint off of reality as desk and ask it only this: how can I be with you? In that simple reorientation, you are handed something that can't be written on paper, a permission, a quiet authority that is not yours and is you simultaneously. It is the river carrying you while you learn the art of swimming, which is really the art of being water. Now, someone will protest. Isn't letting go just giving up? No, giving up is despair dressed in pajamas. Letting go is trust with good posture. It is the courage to be touched by the world instead of constantly touching up the world. It is the end of self-hypnosis. We spend so long nodding to our own commentary that we mistake it for the weather. We listen to forecasts of catastrophe from an inner anchorman who has never once stepped outside, never once stood barefoot on the cool, early grass. Take him to the field. He will be speechless for a while, which is a blessed condition for a commentator. You can test this with one of the oldest instruments known to human beings, the breath. Try to breathe perfectly. At once, you become mechanical. The chest stiffens, the throat tightens, and the breath, a shy friend, adopts a polite formality. Now stop trying. Let breathing be done as it was before you arrived with your clipboard. The organism resumes its ancient wisdom. In that shift, you receive something, ease. And with ease, space. And in space, the unplanned. It isn't that you created more oxygen. You stopped interfering with the concert. If letting go is a doorway, attention is the key you already hold. By attention, I don't mean a squinting intensity. I mean a soft lantern that reveals what is actually in the room. Bring that lantern to your most defended corner. Perhaps there is a relationship in which you keep your jaw set, your sentences short. Perhaps there is a decision you have kept in a drawer for months, too afraid to open it because the paper inside has the word change typed in unforgiving capital letters. Set the lantern there. Let the body speak first. It will say things like, "The shoulders are tired of being shoulders." It will say, "These eyes want to look kindly on something for 5 minutes." It will whisper, "Please, less armor." Letting go is the politics of the inner nation. You abdicate a throne that never really fit and discover, to your quiet shock, that the citizens, your moods, your thoughts, your timid impulses to kindness, organized themselves better than your old monarchy did. The tyrant was always afraid of chaos. And yet, when he naps, the village throws a festival and cleans up after itself. Watch your experience for yourself. On the day you stop berating the mind for thinking, it thinks less loudly. On the day you stop hating your fear, it loosens its tie and sits down. High-strung emotions behave like police horses. They calm when the rider relaxes. Consider love. The tighter you hold a person, the more you shape them into a character in your private play. They forget their lines and you become a disappointed director. But when you hold with a cupped palm, when you care without confiscation, something exquisite happens. The other person returns, not as your property, but as a weather pattern you can travel within. You are asking life for a garden. It gives you a climate. In that climate, flowers appear without you adding one single petal by hand. The more you let go, the more life gives you, because love finally has room to be itself. Consider grief. We try to outmath grief. If I calculate correctly, we say, it will end on Thursday and take precisely 2 liters of tears. And grief laughs, not unkindly, but deeply. It knows tides. It knows supermarkets and traffic lights and the sudden collapse in a song you hadn't heard since the year you learned to be brave. If you stop scheduling the ache, you find it has its own artistry. It sculpts you with unexpected tenderness. It opens windows in rooms that have forgotten the sky. The grief you let be will give you back the world, not as it was, which it never was, but as it may be, which is the only way anything is. The workplace, too, becomes a different continent when you let go of the invention that you must drag everything to shore by your eyebrows. The tight worker breaks pencils. The open worker builds bridges. Precision survives. Panic doesn't. The surgeon's hand does not tremble because she is casual. It does not tremble because she is one gesture with the blade, the breath, the bright metal music of the operating room. The more her ego lets go of owning the miracle, the more the miracle happens where she stands. But someone says, if I let go, won't I be taken advantage of? Won't I become soft clay for hard fingers? You will be surprised to discover that boundaries grow stronger when fear isn't drawing them. Fear draws borders like barbed wire, everywhere, always. Love draws them like gardens, placed, living with gates. When you let go of the need to be approved of, no becomes surprisingly available, and it sounds less like a slam than a bell. People hear it, you hear it, and the gift of your yes grows more radiant. Letting go also changes your relationship with time. When you clutch at enough, there is never enough. When you loosen, hours stop being coins and start being rooms. You walk through them. Some rooms are painted in conversation. Others are quiet and smell faintly of pencil shadings and rain. You don't have to redecorate them while you're in them. You can sit. In that sitting, life gives you something invaluable in a culture addicted to running, the taste of being. There is no recipe, there is no schedule, there is no hack. There is simply the fact that you are here, and that here is always generous when you stop grinding it into glitter. A practical suggestion: pick one ordinary ritual and make it a sanctuary for letting go. The kettle, the walk from the car to the door, the 5 seconds before you answer your name. Do nothing extra there. Let sound reach you. Let light touch your eyes without marching it into an army of conclusions. If a thought arrives wearing boots, let it stomp through. The floor is old and forgiving. If a feeling arrives with a violin it bought secondhand, let it play 2 notes and leave. If nothing arrives, that is also something. The sanctuary is not for improvement, it is for reception. And the more you receive, the less you hoard. The less you hoard, the more is given. And what, finally, is given? A way of moving that is faithful to what is already moving. Music teaches this every day. You can't seize a melody and put it in your pocket like a coin. You can let it pass through your chest and discover that your ribs are the strings of a harp you didn't know you carried. You can dance to it. You can let a good silence follow it like the space after a bow. You become, in some small manner, the melody's continuation. Letting go is how the song uses you. We have been speaking in images, and rightly so, because ideas alone are too dry for what is juicy about existence. But let me give you a naked sentence. Life is not a negotiation. It is an intimacy. Negotiations require strategies and faces and a lot of papers. Intimacy requires presence. You can't bargain a sunset into being more orange, but you can look up. You can't threaten a child into laughing, but you can lie on the floor and let your dignity wander out of the room for a while. The more you let go of trying to deserve the day, the more the day comes to sit beside you like an old friend who has known all your difficult weather and still brings bread. And then, of course, there is death, that most honest of teachers. People ask me, won't this letting go make dying easier? As if we could practice it as a trick for the final exam. But the curriculum of letting go is not about passing. It is about understanding the subject while you are still in class. Each exhale is a rehearsal, yes, but not a morbid one. It is the body's favorite act of generosity. It gives away what it does not need and is immediately given what it does. In such reciprocity, you learn something the mind has been too proud to learn. Receiving is not failure. Receiving is how stars are lit, how fields drink rain, how a face receives light and becomes itself. If you let go into this reciprocity, you will find yourself less frightened of endings, because you will see that they do not exist as we imagine. What ends? Not the sea. Waves end, and the sea remains indecently calm about it. Your identities end. The capacity to be goes on. The more you let those little identities drop when they are done, the one who is always right, the one who never cries, the one who handles everything, the more life gives you the only identity that has ever fit. This, here, breathing, noticing, moved by what moves. There is a lovely mischief in the way the world rewards the open hand. Have you noticed? You lose the plan, then find the path. You put down the script, then remember your lines. You stop fishing for the exact word, and it swims up by itself, fins flashing, as if to say, "I was tired of being chased." You loosen your hold on how the visit should go, and suddenly your friend says something precious that would never have been said in the stiff parlor you were preparing. Life gives its best gifts to the house without plastic on the furniture. "Fine," says the practical mind, "but what about the rent?" Yes, let us not pretend we can pay the landlord with metaphors. We live in a world where numbers have their work and contracts exist, and the body must be kept in shoes. Letting go does not dissolve the coinage. It dissolves the panic. You still walk to the shop. You simply don't carry an entire parade of anxious drummers between your ears while you choose oranges. You may discover this is odd, that without the parade, you buy better oranges. You taste one and think, this, yes. The small wisdom of the senses returns when the loud committee adjourns. And what of ambition? Must you pour it down the drain? Not at all. But you will want to pour the desperation out of it and keep only the fire. Desperation is smoky. It stings the eyes and sets off alarms. Fire is clean. It warms rooms and cooks soup. Ambition freed from desperation becomes devotion. Devotion has very good hands. She can hold a craft for decades without breaking it, because she isn't trying to squeeze immortality out of it. She is simply in love. And the beloved gives back, slowly, sometimes, and in mysterious forms, but it gives. The more you let go of performing a miracle, the more your daily practice performs one. I sometimes think of the self as a manuscript left open on a desk with the window ajar. On certain afternoons, the wind enters with an opinion. It rearranges a page or two. The serious editor panics. My paragraphs. He cries, gathering scattered papers with an injured dignity. But the writer, who remembers why the first sentence was ever written, smiles. The draft needed air. And in the new order, a phrase appears that would never have occurred to the carefully starved imagination of certainty. Letting go is the open window. Life is the wind. The story, bless it, is in on the joke. If you want to practice, a simple, shamelessly ordinary practice, try this. Before you speak, taste silence. Let it sit on the tongue. Do not interpret it as a failure in conversation. Interpret it as the missing instrument tuning in the pit before the overture. Then speak, if speech still seems the best instrument for the next note. You will find that the music improves. You will find you were often answering questions that had not yet been asked, and that questions, when they have a chance to ripen, are delicious. Another practice. When you feel the old contraction, the familiar armor buckling itself around your ribs with a tigre conde, metallic hiss pause and find one thing you could soften by a single degree. Not the whole thing, 1 degree. The jaw sits down in its chair. The shoulders give back an inch of sky. The hands become less thrown and more meadow. That is all. Watch the room's behavior change. And when you fail, as you will, because the theater of being human refuses to close for renovations, then laugh. Laughter is the evacuation plan for seriousness. The ego prefers the fire drill orderly, punitive, with clipboards. Laughter does something far more efficient. It finds the door without the blueprint. Letting go is often preceded by a laugh that breaks your own spell. You were, after all, taking your performance as the world's protagonist a little too personally. We come, at last, to the part of the evening where the orchestra lowers its volume and the lights show a little dust in the air. I want to hand you nothing fancy, no program note embossed with gold letters, just a cup of clear water and the suggestion that you don't try to own it. Drink, feel the precise temperature on your tongue. Notice how the body, that old friend, knows what to do without your diplomatic cables. The gift arrives because the grasping paused. The world is not hiding from you. It is rushing at you at the speed of always. It is willing to be seen by anyone who isn't fogging the glass with frantic explanations. The more you let go of being the center that must hold, the more you find yourself in the center that does, without argument, without pretense, with that gentle, undomesticated clarity you knew as a child when you discovered your pocket was full of rain-polished stones and the afternoon smelled like leaves. So let your plans be plans. Let them live on paper. Then fold the paper into a small boat, set it in the sink, and watch the way a trickle of water will carry it toward the silver mouth of the drain. With all the ceremony of a river bearing a barge to the sea, smile at the small procession. Wash the cup. Call your friend. Put on good shoes. Look at the moon when it rises like a slow confession. If tears come, let them have the floor. If laughter comes, let it wake the neighbors. If nothing comes, let nothing be enough. The more you let go, the more life gives you, not because you have outsmarted fate, but because you have stopped arguing with the tide. The sea does not reward the rock for being a rock. It rewards the shore for being a shore, receiving, shaping, giving back, receiving again. Become shoreline. It is not a demotion. It is a dignity beyond the reach of applause. Now we will end, the way the best evenings end, without a grand finale, just the soft closing of a door that was open the whole time. Breathe. Feel the room breathing you. Whatever you were holding so fiercely, set it on the table as if it were a bowl of fruit you can return to later. Notice how your hands are again hands. Notice how the river moves, whether you keep the map or not. And if you must carry something away from here, carry this. You don't have to deserve the gift. You only have to stop refusing it.